If something in your connection feels unclear, unspoken, or unfinished, this may explain why. Hello and welcome to You and Them, your bonus weekly love reading with me, Cesmina. As always, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's see what the cards have to say about your love life this week. So, before we get into your reading, I want to talk about a song I channeled while I was shuffling for you guys. I heard the song Means I Care by Tate McRae. So, I don't know this song very well, but I do know the chorus, and that's the part of the song I was hearing. So, the lyrics are: if I cut you off, it just means I care. If I shut you out, it must mean that it's going somewhere. It's not what I want. It's just all I know. So it sounds to me like you guys have an avoidant personality on your hands here. Like things got intense between you. There are some strong feelings coming through here, and it feels like suddenly they've pulled away or detached or distanced themselves from you. And I feel like you're very confused right now. Yeah, I'm hearing, what did I do? Everything was going so well. So yeah, I think you guys are confused and hurt right now. And like, this doesn't make sense to you right now. But I'm hearing they've pulled away because they care so much that it's freaked them out, okay? Like, they care so much about you that it's just too intense for them. Yeah, they've pulled away, but I feel like they've pulled away without explaining, without explaining what's going on to you. And that's why you're confused and you're hurt because you don't know what's happening. So this song, I feel like this song would explain a lot to you about your person. So go check it out if that resonated. Let's get into your cards now. So a card for where they stand right now. Three of Cups. Yeah. Okay. So they like you. Okay. They're very happy with you and they love the time they spend with you. They love the vibe between you, but it's got too intense for them, okay? Like it's too much for them. The feelings for you are just too much for them. And I think they went into this connection with you wanting something light, maybe something casual, but I think they've fallen for you. I think they've caught some very strong feelings for you now, and it's freaked them out, okay? And they've run or they've sort of distanced themselves because they can't cope with the intensity of these feelings. But it's nothing to do with what you've done. It's just that I feel like your person is a lot more comfortable with a lighter atmosphere. Something casual, but I don't think they want casual anymore. I'm hearing something now about them getting jealous over you. Maybe that's what's freaked them out. Maybe they've got jealous and possessive, and because of that, their nervous system has told them to run because that's like their sign that they care too much. Maybe caring too much equals getting hurt to your person. And I think they're in this energy now where they're like, it's okay if I pull back, we can go back to light and breezy. They're thinking, if I distance myself for a while, these feelings, and I feel like your person has really strong feelings for you, they think if they distance themselves, they can buy time to deal with these emotions. But there's a very strong feeling coming through here about getting jealous and how they feel about jealousy in general, and how they feel that that is very obvious and very telling in a relationship. Let's see where you stand now. Chariot. Okay, so you guys want to chase them right now. Like I said, you're thinking, what's going on? Everything was going so well. I'm actually getting this really happy feeling coming through from you if your person has recently got jealous over you. That could be something you consider as a big development in your relationship with this person. So at the moment, I feel like you guys are very confused. I'm going to be honest here. I think you're panicking. I think you're thinking of chasing your person, or you already are chasing them. And I think this is because you don't understand what's happened. Because I don't think they've told you what's going on with them right now. I think they've just pulled their energy back. I don't think they're very good at communication. Or if they do communicate, it doesn't give you a lot of information. It doesn't tell you anything. So if you have got in touch with them already, if you've texted them or called them or DM'd them, they feel cold to me, but it's not cold in a typical or obvious way. It's like they've gone casual on you all of a sudden, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. But I think they're making it very difficult for you to get control of this situation. I think that they're struggling to keep control of themselves as well. And I think you're struggling to keep control of yourself too. So you're struggling to stop yourselves chasing them, but at the same time you want to fix this or get things back to the way it was. You want to have a conversation with them where you ask them what's going on and actually get an answer. Yeah, I feel like you are very confused right now and that you're panicking. And I think the thought of leaving this and sort of letting your person be, that's hard for you to do because you feel like if you leave this or if you ignore it, I feel like your person is trying to do that. You feel like you're risking your connection by ignoring it or leaving it. So I feel like right now you guys want validation from your person and yeah, some reassurance. Let's see what they're showing you at the moment. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so they're showing you some serious mixed signals here. This is them being casual and serious at the same time. What are you supposed to think? That's what I'm hearing you saying. What am I supposed to think? When you want to act like a couple, when you get jealous, so jealousy is really big here. Like, that's a big indicator between you and this person. I feel like it's confirmation that they care. I think they've actually told someone you're with them. And I feel like they did that because someone else found you attractive and their immediate reaction was, no, they're with me. Yeah. And then I feel like the relationship escalates and then they go back to this Three of Cups energy. They start talking like you're casual again after an escalation. It's no wonder you're confused because they're showing you long term potential. They're acting like a partner. They're acting like they want to escalate this. And then once I feel like maybe you guys escalate it for them, I feel like you guys take that action for them. But I feel like once you do escalate it because they've told you to, it feels like you act on their signals, but those signals, they're mixed, they're confusing, and they cause you a lot of hurt and a lot of panic. I'm definitely getting panic from you. And I think That's you reacting to their panic because you don't understand because they're showing you that they want to be serious. You know, they're showing you jealousy and they're showing you fear of you being with anyone else. Yeah, what are you supposed to think? This could also be them taking their time. Maybe that's how you guys understand them, but I'm definitely getting mixed signals here. Definitely getting mixed signals here as what they're showing you. Let's see what they aren't showing you now. Queen of Wands. Okay, so one thing's for sure, they're very attracted to you. They they respect you and they admire you. I think you stand alone in their mind. Like they don't compare you to anyone else. I don't think there is anyone else for them. You know, I feel like you guys win against anyone else. So I do think they're with you for the long term in their mind. It's like definite in their mind. You know, they're like, that's my person. And I'm seeing that jealousy again too, because this card can be fiery and it can be possessive. So they could be very territorial of you, not in a toxic way, but they don't want anyone else to have you. I think this is where those long term signals are coming from, along with the Ten of Pentacles. And then the casual signals are coming from the Three of Cups. So you see an equal mixed sort of like of mixed signals, but I think the long term signals are actually stronger. I think they just hide it. I think they've got a panic button that tells them to run when they care, and they care a lot. Jealousy is definitely a big indicator for them that they care. I think that's their panic button. They're like, I'm jealous. I don't want anyone else to have my person. And then their brain goes, oh no, I care. I've got to run and go back to casual before I get hurt or before I'm vulnerable. It's something like that. That's like their mindset. But yeah, they think very highly of you. There's no competition because you've won. Like you win in their mind every time. And they get so jealous over you and very possessive. I feel like they could go from placid to suddenly dominant when it comes to you looking at someone else or someone else looking at you. I do feel like competition makes your person very insecure. And that's their signal. That's how they know they care, is when they're jealous. Let's see what you're showing them. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. So you're both showing long term potential. Like I said, it's no wonder you're confused because you're here. You're ready, you know, you're willing. You would be with this person. You're saying yes to this person when they show you these signals, these long term signals. You want to be with this person. You want to take this relationship further. You know, when they open that door, you know, when they imply they want more with you, I do feel like it's you that takes the action. You know, you're the one who gives them that confirmation, that validation, that reassurance. And I feel like that's difficult for you because you don't know when they're going to return this energy. I feel like when they've hinted at taking the relationship to more serious levels, The levels that they're comfortable with, you've taken that action and then that's been fine. But then when they've hinted at something really serious that they want, but that makes them panic and makes them want to run, I think you guys have gone to take action there. And then once you've done that and once you're vulnerable, they go back to talking to you like you're casual. So I feel like you guys are here for your person, you're present in this connection and you're willing to take action when they give you the green light. But I feel like you don't always know what you're going to get with your person, even though you are both showing long term potential. The foundation doesn't feel stable to me. Let's see what you aren't showing now. I feel like your person hides a lot, but I feel like you guys hide a lot from this person too. Yeah, the moon. Oh, the moon. Okay. Do you do you love this person? And are you not telling them because you don't want them to run? And are you doing that because it's hurt you enough and it causes you enough panic when they run from what you two already have? And you don't know if you would be able to handle them running from this connection if you were that vulnerable with them. If you were vulnerable enough to tell them that you love them. Is that why you're always there and waiting for their signals? Because you love them? That word holds a lot of weight, doesn't it? And I feel like that word for you and especially for your person feels so heavy. And I think it feels so heavy that you won't say it yet. At least not while this person is showing you these mixed signals. Because you don't know how to take that. I think you're afraid of them knowing how much you care for them. I think that creates a lot of anxiety for you and that drives you to chase this person when you know you shouldn't. But I feel like it also stops you chasing this person sometimes because you know they need this space. Even if it's painful for you, I feel like it's painful for you to give them that space, but you do it because you love them and you don't want to lose them. You wait for their signals, even though they're mixed signals, because you don't want to lose this person. And what's so frustrating for you is that you aren't wrong. And you aren't wrong about this person. They want something serious with you. They do. You aren't reading too much into this or imagining it. They want this with you. They just won't do it. And you don't understand why. And until you do, you aren't showing them how much they mean to you. No way. I'm hearing no way. There's no way I'm doing that. Yeah. Let's see what's changing in this connection now. Six of Pentacles. So that's the effort, the give and take dynamic. That's what's changing. So I feel like this has already happened with that jealousy, or at least it's been set in motion. So that jealousy has revealed a lot about how much you mean to your person, or it will be. And I feel like your reaction to that jealousy has told them a lot about how much you feel about them. So I feel like you guys have or will be telling each other how much you mean to each other through actions, not so much words, because words feel hard for this person. And I think you hesitate to use words with them. I feel like the dynamic between you just makes action feel lighter and easier in your dynamic. I don't think you two are the kind, at least not at the moment, to sit down and have a heart to heart conversation. So you're always there for this person, and I feel like they take that for granted sometimes. I think there's someone else in your orbit right now, someone else who wants you. And I think that's what's balancing out your connection, because I think jealousy makes your person panic in two ways. Okay. So it makes them panic in the usual way. They run and they need time on their own, to deal with the fact that they care that someone else is looking at you. But it also makes them panic and act. Okay. Two different forms of panicking. So I feel like they will be giving you more affection or being more obvious in public, or at least around this other person who wants you, to basically tell this person to back off because you're with them. And that is them panicking. That is them panicking because there's competition and they don't want to lose you to this person or anyone else. Like I said, they're very jealous, they're very possessive. So that's what's balancing out, is how much physical effort, how much visible action the two of you take in the connection. Let's look at how this is playing out in real life now. You have the Page of Swords. They're stalking you on social media. I think they're going to be going into a bit of a spiral with this jealousy. So I think they'll be checking this other person's social media as well as yours. This person who's interested in you. Yeah, I think you'll be noticing them popping up a lot more on your stories, on your posts. And I'm getting them being more present in text, like more frequent, more like attentive. So texting you more than they usually do because they're panicking about this other person. And I think you're panicking because they are. You want to reassure them that you aren't going to do anything with this other person. You aren't even entertaining them. I think this other person is just a friend. Maybe they're very flirty, or at least your person views them that way. Their perception could be a little distorted actually because of the jealousy. But yeah, they're paying very close attention to you and the connection with this other person and how you're being with them, how you're sort of interacting with this other person, and how you're interacting with your person. And I feel like you're doing the same thing. You're paying very close attention because your person is being very attentive now and very, like, they're a lot more present. And I feel like you're paying a lot of attention to that because you've noticed the change in their behavior, and because of their track record, because of what they've done before, you're waiting to see where this is going. Like, you're wondering, is this another upgrade, like another step in our relationship? Or is this another false start? Is this more false hope? So you might feel a little hyper vigilant, but I feel like your person is in the same boat as you are. They're hyper vigilant too. They're checking up on you. And I feel like That's because their jealousy is forcing them to. Their jealousy is forcing them to do that. Let's see about your next card now. The High Priestess. Yeah, words are definitely difficult or scary for your person. And I feel like you've learned this about your person. And I think that's why you guys are so sensitive and so in tune with their signals. That's how they communicate with you. So I think that's why this jealousy is so telling to you. Like, this jealousy is telling you a lot about how your person really feels about you. This surveillance they're doing, this feels vulnerable for them. And I feel like you're picking up on that. Like, you know that, even if nothing's being said. Like I said, you're both paying very close attention to the other. And I feel like while you're paying such close attention to each other, you'll both realize in your own ways how much you mean to each other. So for you, it will be that surveillance, that social media stalking, those extra messages, that jealousy that's going to get more and more obvious. And for them, it's that you're there still, even though you've got options, even though there's someone else willing to give you attention, even though there's another person right there, maybe willing to do what they can't or willing to do what they struggle with. And you're still there. You're still putting up with their mixed signals. And they'll realize how much they mean to you because of that. And so you'll be vulnerable in your own way too. Not as vulnerable as you could be, but as vulnerable as you're willing to be. And the same goes for them. They're going to be as vulnerable as they can be at this stage with you. Let's see where this is taking your connection. Five of Swords. Okay, yeah, I can see this. Okay, so you're both going to be vulnerable, okay? And I feel like the second you and your person realize that, your egos, like your walls, are coming right back up because it's basically this battle of who cares more. It's kind of cute, actually. It's like you're both panicking, and it's like, the other one cares, and the other one's saying, no, I don't. It's like denial. And the other is like, yes, you do. And then I feel like you guys have this argument because your egos get bruised and your tempers flare up because you're in like this self protection energy then. It's basically like this energy of an old married couple fighting, if I'm being honest. It's not like a real argument, like you don't mean it. It's like we care and we've admitted that. So now we're going to pretend that we don't. We're going to do that because we need to protect our egos now because we've been vulnerable and we don't like it. Yeah, we're going to argue because we're more comfortable with that. Oh, it's really cute. Because I think even though you're trying to sort of prove the opposite, the fact that you're both willing to stand there and deny how you feel, I feel like that in itself is an admission of guilt. It's like obvious that the two of you care now because you're standing there having an argument about it. Okay, let's see where this stands by the end of the week. Seven of Swords. Okay, yeah. So you're going to be in uncharted territory, okay? Um, so it's going to be a little awkward. I'm not going to lie to you, and it's going to be a little bit tricky for a while because you've both revealed how you feel about each other. You've both been vulnerable in a way, and so that's like There's a lot unspoken now. You know, you've crossed the line in your relationship, you know, even if you've done that silently. And because of that, because of your history with this person, because you know the intimacy is hard for your person, you're moving very carefully. You're being very careful with your words and your actions because you've never been here before with this person. And there's this message coming through now that even if this seems quite mild, even if this seems like a baby step to other people, you know, other people would look at your relationship and say, I wouldn't call that like a milestone. The fact that you and your person have done this, you know, the fact that your person was publicly jealous, the fact that you turned that person down, that other person who was interested in you, it's very revealing and it's very vulnerable for both of you. It's, I think, as vulnerable as the two of you are willing to go right now. It's like your limit of vulnerability. And that's why it's so intimidating because maybe you thought you would get to this point with this person, but not this quickly. I don't think you expected it to be this intense or to happen this quick. Or maybe you didn't expect your person to react this way. Maybe you didn't expect jealousy in the first place. It's basically this energy that you're going to be like, okay, I've never been in a situation like this with you. You know, there's a little bit of self consciousness coming through there where you're going to be like, what do I do? You know, how do I act? You know, what can I say? What can't I say? You know, what can we talk about? Can I bring it up or not? And I think your person is doing that as well. But I think you're much better at it than they are. You feel like the calmer one to me right now. Okay, that's all that's coming through for this week. I'll leave it there and I will see you next week.